Welcome to Badass in Action, the show that ignites your inner fire and propels you toward your epic goals. I'm Melanie Browning, delivering raw interviews, game-changing stories, and mindset hacks to keep you moving. Get ready, it's go time. Hello there. If you've ever felt like you're not showing up as strong or as confident as you want to in your business or in your body, today's episode is for you. Delaney Wood helps women lift more than just weights. She helps them lift their confidence, strength, and sense of power. As a personal trainer, business owner, and founder of Strong Sis Squad, she's on a mission to turn sweat into empowerment and help women discover the unstoppable power they already have. Welcome, Delaney. How you doing today?
I'm great. I'm peachy. Thank you for having me today.
Now tell me, where did you just come from?
The gym. I just came back from the gym from training legs.
Training legs. Now, I normally don't just jump right into it, but that reminds me, I saw on your Instagram a post and you were talking about glute day. And I said, is glute day a thing? I have trouble just doing leg day. Like, oh my goodness. You know, like so many different exercises just for glutes, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm like, I love to dedicate just one workout toward my glutes. I mean, it leaves you feeling peachy. That's also what I tell my clients.
I love that. Feeling peachy, feeling peachy. Well, I want to dive in and get to know your story. Where did you begin weightlifting and when did you decide to make it a business?
Yeah, so I initially started my journey 6 years ago. And I had no idea how to even pick up a weight. I really started from scratch. I was a cheerleader in the past. I was an athlete, but I used to lift people for a living. I never lifted weights, really. So I didn't have much experience, but I knew I needed to make a change. I was very overweight, and just my daily habits were just not healthy. And I knew in my head, I'm like, I gotta improve my well-being. So it really starts by healing your mind and your body, so internally and externally. And I took a chance. I hired a coach, was not sure what to expect whatsoever, so I kept my expectations low, and I was granted with more than I could ever have, honestly. So it was 6 years ago, and a year and a half in, just after my journey so far is when I got certified. I decided to take the leap and to serve other people and help them and be a leader to guide them to improve their health and well-being.
That's powerful. And I just want to know, like, in like that 6 year period and like starting out, like to have such a transformation and so, like kind of quickly into it, what were your days looking like? Like you say, transform the mind and body. What helped facilitate that move? Was it just the coach, or what else were you doing? And it sounds like you like submerged yourself into your transformation.
Yeah, that's a really great way to put that. I feel like I submerged myself, but also surrendered to the struggle and to the good days and to also the really tough days. And with keeping my expectations down, I was able to tell myself, like, hey, let's learn through this process, keep the expectations low, and learn along the way. So that allowed me to build really great healthy habits from the ground up. So I remember even in the beginning, I didn't even know how to cook chicken the right way. Like, I am totally dumping, like, the truth on this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to make chicken right. Like, how do I do this? And so I can really relate to my clients on this, where they're like, how do I even make like this right? Or how can I cook efficiently? And I remember my parents really just helped me, set up the groundwork that way. And I feel like that's also what helped me a lot, because nutrition plays in a huge role. What you feed your body is also what you feed your mind. And I knew when I overcame that challenge a little bit more, it made my training feel a lot better. And then they collide together, they intertwine, and I'm like, well, I want to feel good, so I'm going to stay on track, and I'm addicted to just staying in a structured environment in a sense on a daily basis. So I just fell in love with it.
That's powerful. I love how you talk about, keeping your expectations low, which also kind of sounds to me, because it's not that I don't think you weren't expecting an outcome, or wanting an outcome, but maybe like more of a prolonged, like you're in it for the journey. And kind of that approach. Is that something, does that sound a little bit similar, or absolutely just you're going to just try this thing and go for it and see what happens?
Yeah, I gave myself that patience for at least 90 days. I said, give yourself 90 days. It takes a little bit to create some type of habit, and then go from there, and then see where I want to go from there. And then I kept blossoming and building that passion for moving in general and what I was really capable of. I really didn't give myself enough credit, even with how I started my own capabilities, until I started to discover that inner power I had. And from there, that's when you really catch the bug. And that came from surrendering to it and not getting so in my head about what I feel like the outcome should be. Just like you said, it's just all about the journey, and then continuing to blossom into new goals and long-term goals, short-term goals. That's what I wanted to mention too. I had a couple of those in the long run as well, so I always had something to look forward to. When I hit a goal, or when I hit like my 20-pound mark, I bought myself workout clothes. I started to build that confidence slowly. I really made it more of a healthy, I would say, how do I put it? Like a healthy way to celebrate your wins.
Yes.
Versus like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go out and revolve it around food or revolve it around things, which I did, but I also treated myself in different ways that helped me build my confidence a lot more. It makes it fun.
That's so much fun, and super important to celebrate the wins. I think a lot of people have a hard time celebrating themselves because it feels, kind of bragging or whatever. But I think it's absolutely necessary. And I love that you bring that to the table. And you have such a light, beautiful energy that I can see you doing that with your clients as well. Like just man, I can see hitting a PR and you just being like, yes.
I do turn into a cheerleader. I will say I am a cheerleader of a coach, yes, but I will also get on a serious note when it's necessary. I definitely have a happy medium with that, because depending on the client, they do need that. And then other clients, just depending on how they respond better, they may not need that. So for clients who do like that encouragement, I'm all in. And then depending on someone else, then I encourage them in different forms. But my personality is all cheerleader. I don't think that'll ever leave my soul. Ever.
So with the cheerleader, you get someone that tunes into you, really listens, whether or not you know you. Because I know a lot of times, like I'd probably show up and just be like, give it to me straight, when really you'll probably notice she needs some more cheerleading in there, and a little lighter on the toughness there. So you really tune in to your clients and help them that way. Now, what does it look like working with you? I know on your Instagram page, I believe it says you do one-on-ones, you do group, and you do like both in person and online. So what is it, how does someone get in contact with you and work with you? And what does that look like? What can they expect from you?
Yes, so I offer one-on-one training, small group training, so that's up to 4 people, a maximum in person, and I offer online training, so remotely. So I would get them connected on the app. I get all of my clients connected on the app that I use, so then they can access their workouts and it'll be a whole layout of their videos of me personally performing the exercise.
Oh, nice.
If you train with me in person, you get it all in person, of course, but remotely, I'm very hands-on with my clients in person and online too. So just depending on what they need is how I would deliver upon expectation. But if you want to train with me in person, you can reach out to me on Instagram. I do have a form where you can just submit your inquiry as well. So depending on whether people want to reach out to me or not directly, you can DM me. I'm always a message away. I'm very easy to talk to, or sometimes they like to indirectly reach out, and then I'll reach out to them myself.
That's awesome.
So, yes.
What most of the clients that come to you, what are they looking for specifically? Like, have you found a niche that you really you find those clients being attracted to? Is it weightlifting? Is it weight loss? What kind of thing is kind of, I guess, the biggest thing for you, if that's even something that you've noticed?
Lifestyle training, weight loss, building lean muscle tissue. I train a lot of moms, so a large portion of my clientele are women. Our bodies are symphonies, so I train clients, women from the age of 18, and my oldest client is 62.
Oh, wow.
Currently. So I really have a wide spectrum of who I train, and I train everyone very differently. It definitely depends on the phase that you're in, your personal training goals, what you may need. If anyone, for example, I have a couple of clients who previously had a couple of shoulder injuries. So we would have to take a few steps back and work through those imbalances and rebuild from the ground up from there. So I'm very hands-on when it comes to training, starting from the ground up. So more of your basic fundamentals, and then depending on where you want to grow from there is how I help my clients establish more goals from there. So I do get a lot of clients who really are unsure of what their goals are specifically, but they know they have something in mind. So whether they want to lose weight, or they know they travel a lot and they really want to maintain good health, recomp their body, so learning more about their nutrition goals, and then complementing that with their strength training, building their glutes, but building muscle overall, just for their everyday life.
What do you find any key things, like you personally, what do you feel are the key elements to fitness and health?
I'd say the key elements in terms of just in the gym, or are you just talking about
kind of overall, like just kind of what are your thoughts and beliefs of fitness, and are there any, like, if someone's maybe like, I don't know about this fitness journey, sure, I'd like to lose 20 pounds, but what do I have to do? But are there any key things that stick out to you that just say, like, even everyday person that's not looking for the big weightlifting, are there any key things that are like, this is really important to health because X? Like, do you have any, like me, I'm big on movement. Mm-hmm. Movement just gets everything flowing, and it gets your mind moving. So I love movement in general. Are there any key elements that stick out to you that way?
Oh, yeah. I always tell people who reach out to me, like in general, if they're even nervous to walk into a gym, how can they still start? I say start slow. Start from the ground up. Start with light walking, parasympathetic movement, yoga, Pilates. I know Pilates has become more of a trend these days as well. Getting yourself familiar with movement and becoming self-aware of how your body feels while you move. And sometimes walking into a gym right away may be too much for you during the time being. But if you just learn that feeling of movement, you may start to catch the bug that way, and then hiring a professional, go, okay, like I know what this makes me feel like, but how do I start from there? And really starting slow. Like, you may walk in and go, wow, like maybe I can't even pick up 5s yet. Well, we have 2.5s. That's okay too. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's not a matter about how much weight you're lifting, it's what you're feeling. Mind to muscle connection, connecting with your body, with your central nervous system, and going from there. Because if you lose that simplicity of it, it can get very complex very quick. But once you start to feel that, and then you start to take those steps, that's when it becomes more fun. So I always tell everybody, start slow. Start with something that you may like. Ride a bike outside, go hiking. And that way you want to create a bigger goal from there, where you're like, oh man, I need to build endurance, or I guess I'm not as flexible as I thought. What can I do? You start to gain curiosity about what you can do to improve something you personally want to improve without external pressures.
I love that. You gain curiosity. That's super powerful. Mm-hmm. So with the weightlifting, do you see a lot of women that come in for one goal and then gain the curiosity and start their journey on lifting weights and maybe toning up a little bit more? Is that a common thing? And what does that look like for those clients that you do see go through that?
Yes and no. Sometimes I have women who do want it, but they're hesitant because they think, well, if I'm going to lift more, am I going to get bulky? And we hear that a lot. I know that can be a very cliche phrase, but it really is said a lot. And I remember I used to feel that way in the past as well. But I'm happy that I like to lead by example and I lift the way that I do. So it's like, well, actually, the more that you lift and build that lean muscle tissue, the less problems you'll have in the long run. And I keep it very simple. I can either give them a very complex way to answer that to them where they may not even understand what that means, or I say it very simply and say, hey, you know, in the next 20, 30 years, when you're still going to Costco for your kids, or you're lifting a lot and you're throwing parties and you need a lot of food to pick up or boxes, well, that's a deadlift. I always have them think outside the box and go, this is why it's important to lift weights. And then if there's an exercise that you really start to like and gain curiosity over and you want to build up to that, then we can work on a progressive overload program to get you there. So my goal is always to have my clients discover movements they really like, and then they want to build and they're not afraid to build the same time. So when I slowly increase their caloric intake with their food, I teach them the value of loving just whole nutrient dense foods. That's where they build that love in the long term. I'm not saying, oh, this is what you have to do right away. I'll show you, and then we'll go from there. Small increases with the weights, tricking them, adding a little more than they see. I just say to them, I'm like, oh, you don't see it. Those are little biscuits. What do you mean? Like little 10 on each side, and then they discover their inner strength, and they're like, wow, that wasn't as bad as I thought. I'm like, well, welcome to the club.
Absolutely.
So I make it a positive experience, and I like to educate them along the way, why we add when we do, why we deload when we need to, depending on how they feel.
And I think, there's so many different elements involved in, the weight loss, the weight gain, it can feel so overwhelming because it's not just about working out. But there's the cardio versus weights versus nutrition, and I know they're all an element, but it can feel very daunting. And especially, I know my reaction. I've had 2 different trainers tell me, you need to eat more calories. And I'm like, no!
You're like, but how?
It's against everything I've put into my brain. So that's a process, and being able to meet people where they are. Yeah, how do you go about that? Telling a woman to consume more calories and convince her it's for her own good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It can get tricky at times, and it really depends on their lifestyle also. Where this isn't really a true phrase, but sometimes when I'm training them, I'm like, just imagine those sweet potatoes later going to those glutes. Realistically, it won't literally go to the glutes, but it's just a very positive way to get them to eat.
Yeah.
But really it's a matter about hitting good protein so they're recovering well. I love to correlate their nutrition with their goals, but not only that, help them discover foods they like and then going from there. Because sometimes if you think like, oh gosh, I have a meal plan I have to follow, and it's not even foods that you like, well, that's not fun.
See, I'm the kind of person, like, tell me every little bit of thing I need to eat and when, because I don't want to think about it. I just want to eat, and then just tell me what to do.
Oh, you're a dream client, Melanie. It's like, sure, absolutely. And then I have other gals where they're afraid to eat. So it's like, okay, I'll just sneak in calories where I can. I sneak them in where it's like, okay, what did you have? All right, well, next time after this training day, let's add this amount to that meal. Let me know how you feel. Okay. And then I get their biofeedback on the spot. I'm really that coach where it's like, no, text me in an hour. Let me know how you feel instead of, hearing from them 2 days later. So I have them learn along the way how the food's making them feel. And then usually when they learn and go, oh, wow, or I do train a lot of women, so when they're on their period, I'm like, all right, well, let's bump up those fats a little bit today. If it's day 1, day 2, I'm looking at you, seeing how you're feeling today with training. I'll have them add some more fats, and they're like, oh, okay, and they feel like $1 million after.
It's amazing how it can change. Like, you can go into the gym and you know what you're lifting, and then like the next set of that next time around, you've rested, you've hydrated, and you're like, I can't do this. Like, why? What changed here? So it's helpful to have someone that can explain to you what's going on, or where things can adjust, or give yourself some some rest.
Grace and grace
yeah.
too with food. It's
Yeah.
like sometimes we can put so much pressure in our minds thinking, what is this going to do? Or why am I not eating enough or eating too less? And then that stress is going to go into our gut and then we're not hungry.
Yeah.
Instead of
Stress, that's a huge one. How do you feel that factors into a person's journey, a fitness journey?
Oh yeah, a stress can impact a lot. It's beautiful though when you can allow that to channel through your training though. If you have, a bad day or however you feel that day and the gym is your source and your safe space, we're all going to be stressed, but it is how you channel it. I'm never going to be one to say, oh, try not to stress. Well, we're all going to stress, but how do we channel it? Having that safe space in the gym, having a coach that you feel like you can talk to, especially when it comes to your goals inside and outside of the gym, is essential. Because when you have that safe space, who isn't in your house, always watching you, in this vulnerable atmosphere, teach you more just about your daily goals, that's where you can channel that a lot better. Again, I'm a little goofy at times. Like sometimes I have some of the girls come in stressed or dating life issues. I hear all the tea all day. Let me tell you, I am their safe space. I'm their sis. I'm their home girl too. I go, okay, well, let's hip thrust over that. Let's do another set. I know the timer says so. We got to do another one, but let's do a hip thrust over it, and then let me know how you feel after this.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I try to make it more of a positive way to teach them how to let it go and keep moving forward with their day no matter what.
That's awesome. You've given a lot as far as, in the fitness world, because that's what your business is. A lot of the viewers also have either started a business, just started, or looking to start. I kind of want to go back into when you began your journey after you got certified and when you decided to go into business. Can you take us back to that place and what were your thoughts from there and how did you move forward with that plan?
Oh, yeah. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I worked at a tanning salon for 7 years with the most amazing business owners ever. I've learned everything and more from them, and to this day, I still stay in touch with them. And I remember at the time, I was training my clients part-time, and I was also working there full-time, so my hours were wild. Really learned how to manage my time even more to another level there. And I just knew I had a calling. I needed to do more. It's that fear, that sicky feeling in your gut, like you need to do more, but it's learning to take that leap, and I had that for a while. And I remember when I put in my notice that day, it was the scariest thing in my life because I knew from there I wasn't guaranteed pay, okay? From there, you are independent, and you are running the line like a deer in the headlights for yourself to run a business. But I knew that anything I put in, as far as my goals go, I've been proving myself anyway. Well, I put 110+% into everything I do. And according to my calculations to this day, I'm pretty successful with that. So if I put my heart all into this, I can do it. And I knew I was called to serve more people because it's really about serving my clients daily. It's not really about me. Half the time I knew I was called to help more people and to guide them. So I allowed that. I surrendered to that fear. And from there, I really have never looked back. So that scary gut feeling that you may have, trust it. Know that it's all for a good thing. Don't let it scare you off. Just go, okay, we're called to do more, and it's a blessing. If you have that feeling, it's beautiful. And then from there, I've had, a good amount of struggles along the way. Running a business isn't pretty. I think a lot of people may just show the fancy part of it, but there's also the dirty work behind it. It requires a lot of work, but I've learned staying within my authenticity in this industry has really been a blessing. It's been the best thing that I've been able to do because I have been able to attract the clients that I've dreamt of wanting to serve too. So it goes hand in hand. If you can say manifest as well, but if
Absolutely.
you can manifest what you know you want and you put forth effort into that, that doesn't go unnoticed over time. Same for consistency. So
What is your ideal client? I know you serve a lot other people, but what is the ideal client for you?
I would say eager to learn. Eager to learn. Surrendering to the process. Having a goal, yes, but it doesn't have to be anything specific. But being in that mindset of understanding it is going to be hard. That's okay. Anything good is hard, but it's also hard staying where you're at. So you can choose the level of discomfort you want to experience, but eager to learn. Because the more you learn along the way, the more you're going to stick with it. And being patient. Those are the top two things. Like, not expecting a result in 1 to 2 months. Like, I am not an overnight coach. And I don't tell anybody that. I'm not you're going to see all your results. You're going to lose 20 pounds in 8 weeks. That's not sustainable, and that's unhealthy. I'm going to teach you the sustainable way so you can feel dangerous.
Yeah.
I always say in that way, again, it's in a really positive way to go, no, learning the right way, learning along the way why I am basically giving you a specific source of ingredients is going to help you along the way. And sometimes it may require trial and error, and that's okay. It's not meant to be perfect. But yeah, willing to remain patient and eager to learn.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Where can people go to find out more about you and see what you're all about?
Instagram. It's at Delaney Talia XO.
Delaney Talia XO. And I'm telling you, when you go on there and you see all the stuff, it makes working out look so much fun. And I mean, I am someone that for the most part enjoys working out, but yeah, it's comical because you see yourself in a lot of the things that you do, of like some of the thoughts that go through maybe clients' minds of, maybe want to get out of a workout or not pushing themselves hard enough. It's super fun and powerful, and it's kind of like a cool way of getting called out. Like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, she's right.
It's
okay.
The relatables where it's like, oh, yeah, okay. You go through that too? Cool. I'm not alone.
It's so fun. What are any like personal goals? I saw that you were, winning competitions or lifting some heavy stuff around in front of a bunch of people. Do you have any specific goals of either, are you going for certain reps or certain amounts of weights, or do you have any goals that you feel like sharing with us?
Well, I guess since I told my mom this morning, I can give it away. Because if she hears it, she'll go, "Why? You didn't tell me?" So I guess since I told her, well, I am deciding to compete in another powerlifting meet on November 1st.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, pulled the trigger. I'm like, you know what? Why not? Why not? I am in a phase where I'm really at my strongest. I've been building some awesome lean muscle tissue, and with the way I've been performing in the gym, according to calculations and how my program has been, how my body's been responding to my programming, why not? I'm in that perfect peak, so that's what I decided to do, and it's really more just for me. I think it's a way for me to continue to be a leader as a coach, as a woman in this industry, to go, hey, like, you can be feminine. You can be girly. Like, I wear my dresses. I'm a little sassy girl, in all the best ways. But I love to lift good weight because, one, it feels good. Two, I realized I can do it, realizing you can do it, and just being a leader in that way and showing my clients that you are really capable of doing anything you've ever dreamt of. I never would have thought I could be doing this 6 years ago. So yeah, so I'm like, why not? I've competed in bodybuilding shows in the past. The last meet I did was 1.5 years ago, and since then I've really worked on hitting a different weight class. So I've lost 18 pounds. I have amazing coaches behind my belt as well who are amazing mentors in my life. So us coaches need coaches.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm going to say that again. Coaches need coaches. Trainers also need training. And I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them as well. So since then, I've been putting a lot of technical work into my training, very intentional work. So it's paying off now. So I might as well do it to celebrate it.
That's awesome. Congratulations. And thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And definitely, yes, mom's got to know first.
I told her this morning. I'm like, okay, I can share this.
Now, what does a competition like that look like? And what does leading up to that look like for you? Like, how far in advance do you have to prepare for it? That sort of thing.
So my last meet, I prepared for about 12 weeks out. And it was also because it was my first meet as well. There were different techniques I needed to focus on and work on efficiently before that meet. So I wanted to take my time there. For this meet, I'm just preparing for 8 weeks. So based on where my training's at now, we can really put something together for a shorter period, which is going to be better on my body anyways, as far as my recovery goes after, versus putting a lot of time into it when I don't need to necessarily this time around. But I'm going to be doing my squat, my bench, deadlifts, sumo deadlifts over conventional, which I did last time. So I'm just switching things up, spicing things up as a learning curve also, and to see how it goes. I just want to be as well-rounded as I can. So that's why I'm also switching it up as far as my timing of my programming. So I want to see how my body responds to that. So That's where that curiosity comes into play. Even as a coach, it's so fun to geek out over these things where I'm like, let's see how this feels, or it's all a learning process. Let's see how this feels after this program, and then you learn from it.
That's awesome. I love that. I love the approach that you have with that going forward, and being playful with it and still serious and seeing the progress and all of those things.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being here. You're an absolute badass. I appreciate you being here. Is there any other bits of advice that you have to give out there for an entrepreneur starting off and wanting to start a business, whether it be in an industry that you're familiar with or something completely new?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is not being afraid to be yourself when you go for it. Depending on the industry you're in, of course, when it runs to running your own business, it's very easy to be influenced by other people. As far as seeing their success or seeing what they're doing. Social media is big these days, and it's very easy to get into this cycle and rabbit hole of, well, this person's doing that, they seem successful, so maybe I should replicate that. Well, no, that's their own golden nugget. If you really want to be successful and stand out, just be yourself. And sometimes that's more simple than complex. And that's the biggest thing I would tell anybody. Remaining confident and authentic, organic, keeping it very simple and being approachable, willing to learn, because you are going to make mistakes. I have made a lot of mistakes as far as running my own business, but that's where you learn. And you're like, all right, well, I'm not doing that again, and that's the whole beauty about it, and not being afraid to be yourself. It sounds so silly, but I'm just so happy I've been myself these last 5 years now.
That's perfect. I really believe that, you stand out to me and what you give and even showing up today, your beautiful belt and stickers, like it's authentically you. You shine, like sitting across from you, I get to see you glow. So you're doing it right. You're there to provide and authentically you. And yes, definitely keeping it simple more and more. I hear that's the way to go. So thank you so much. Again, if you feel in alignment and are looking for a coach, make sure you check out Delaney Talia XO on Instagram and reach out today. And remember, keep being the badass that you are. Thanks for tuning in to Badass in Action. Drop a quick note, DM, comment, or review, letting me know the moment that hit hardest or the questions it sparked. Your insights fuel future episodes. Until next time, stay badass, keep moving, and remember, you got this.